jolly good morning to you from a bit overcast autumnal but still and calm kind of morning here in the capital city of Latvia, which of course is Riga. I've got a few hours now before I need to head back out of this fabulous country, and so I'm just going to go on a little public transport jaunt this morning, and first stop on the agenda, and it might be the only stop if it's really good when I get there, is a market. There is a central market here in the centre of Riga, but this one is just on the outskirts. So I'm just going to head to the bus, and I just can't quite remember the Agenskalns market, I think it is. I'd have to have a little look at my map just to see if I've got that right or wrong or not, but anyway, I'm going to head to it. Just going to go and find a bus. I've still got my pass, 3-day pass, so that will do me for any little trips around the city this morning and back to the airport later on. Off we go. Directly in front of me there is the central markets of Riga. Look like large aircraft hangars or Zeppelin hangars or something along those lines, but as I say, that features in another of my video, a walk around Riga. So if you're interested in that, check it out. But it's a nice market, that is well worth a little visit. And I think I need to be on the other side of the road. Or do I? Hang on. I keep forgetting. We're on the right hand side of the road here. That could in fact be the bus stop there. Right. And here we are, 10 to 15 minutes later by bus at, now how do we say this, Agenskalna Turgus. Turgus I know means market. Don't know what Agenskalna, that's it. That's what I was trying to say earlier on. I don't even know if you pronounce it like that, but here we are in a kind of a sort of suburb of Riga. Not too difficult to get to, and the public transport here actually is pretty good, so I'm just going to pop inside here. Appears to be open most days. Got cafes in here. Might be time for breakfast and a coffee. As with many markets nowadays, it's not just all about the raw ingredients. Most of them have turned into sort of foodie places, destinations in their own right, where you can pick up some groceries as well as pick up some snacks to eat on the hoof. There's cafes here upstairs I can see, and a bar. Plenty of raw ingredients, and lots of stuff you could take home to cook with, and lots of stuff that you can buy and eat while you're here. This part of the world has got a fine history of beer making, and I'm reliably told that the beers from Latvia, along with some of the beers from Lithuania, are pretty good. Wine growing? I shouldn't think so, but with their connections from the old Russian Empire days, I think they probably import a lot of their wine from the southern part of the empire, places like Georgia and places such as that. But certainly lots of locally grown ingredients here, and of course quite a bit imported too. The homemade soups look very nice as well. Always a good sign when the handwritten signs on the outside of the pack, not connected to the packaging at all, just catering pots that you can take home, pop in your microwave, warm them up, get some of the lovely bread that's available here as well, and that is one smashing lunch, I'm telling you. The upstairs area, fairly quiet at the moment. The cafes probably keep slightly different hours to the market itself, but it is a nice place to come up and enjoy a drink or a cup of coffee, something to eat, and watch the world go by down below. It's not totally unsimilar to the central markets in Riga, in as much similar kind of setup. The central market is a lot bigger than this, but this is nice. As I say, many of the food stalls not really up and running properly yet, and some nice interesting looking food there, albeit probably mostly furious foods. Does that mean it's gonna be hot? Might need your translator in operation. If you hear there's not a great deal translated into English, although with food, of course, you can purchase with your eyes if they've got photographs for you to look at. Funnily enough, the sign over there has got dirty dishes on it. Presumably that's where you take your dirty dishes once you've finished eating. I was presumably with most markets, the food will be served to you on reusable plates that they share amongst themselves. Little kiddies area here too, not too many of those about today. It is a school day here in Latvia. There's the bar. Quite a fine array of booze there. Bit early in the day for that sort of thing, I would say. Oh, don't see these too often either. Wonderful. And I think that's where the dirty dishes trolley is. Nice vibe in here. Okay, so that was today's starting point. I don't know where I'm going to finish up today. I've got approximately 4 hours before I need to head in a direction of the airport. So I'm just going to go out to the bus and tram trolley stops outside, take the first bus that comes, or trolley or tram, and see where it takes me. Definitely time for a tram ride. Well, there's some tram tracks. Let's try and find a tram stop. There's a That's a bus stop. That's where you would purchase your bus or transport tickets, e-talons. Plenty of machines around. Not absolutely at every bus stop, but there's certainly one at the airport and the central station and places like that. And places like this, obviously. Even if you get a 72-hour ticket or a day ticket, you still need to tap it as you get on the bus on the reader to record your journey. Unlike some places where you just validate the ticket on the first journey and it just remains valid until such times as it expires. So please be aware of that. I presume if you don't validate it when you get on the bus, you may well pick up a fine, same as you would if you hadn't got a ticket at all. But yeah, always worth doing your homework with public transport arrangements, because they are quite frequently very different from one country to another, and so many of course are going over to app-based payment systems or e-tickets, that kind of thing. You have got that here. I did download the app, but it seemed a little bit clunky, a little bit sort of not very user-friendly, and as far as I could tell, I don't think it translated into English. I might be wrong about that, but just for a short visit, just decide whether you want to buy individual journeys, buy yourself a collection of single journey tickets, or 24 hours, 72 hours. I think there's a 5-day one as well here in Riga. 5, 8 and 10 euros, I believe, are the three prices for those. So if you're here for more than a day, don't just keep getting day passes. Decided not to jump on any public transport just for a moment. One, I can't see too many trams operating down this line. I don't know if it's not operational today, that particular line, for some reason. And I can see a nice park just ahead, so I'm going to walk there, have a little look what that's all about. Yeah, I have a funny feeling that this tram route here is not operational at the moment, because it's a pretty frequent service on the whole when you see them. And now I know some lines in the middle of Riga itself, just around the edges of Old Riga, are dug up at the moment, partly to do with the Rail Baltica works going on. And so I suppose in some ways some of these lines, it might affect what's going on further afield, although I've not seen any signs suggesting things are closed. But anyway, there's a park. I don't know where it leads. I think ultimately you end up by the river, so I'm going to cross over, get into the park, head in that general direction, see where we finish up. So this appears to be called Uzvaras Park. Probably pronounced that horrendously badly yet again. Bit of work going on over there, not sure what that's all about, but it's a bit noisy. So I'm going to head through these little tunnels that seem to take you, I don't know why the tunnels are even there, to be honest. Seems a bit strange, but anyway, I'm going to go through to the other side of the tunnels where the park continues and just keep walking. Beautiful morning now. It's the sun's starting to poke through a bit. Still need a coat on. I think it's going to get up to about 12 or 13 Celsius today, so a good day for wandering around. I think it may well rain later according to the forecast, so I'm going to get this in now. As always, when you come to parks on a school day in the middle of the week and slightly out of season, you invariably have much of it to yourself, which is great. A lot of work going on in here. There's another load there. Clear out the way of that. There's a bike coming from somewhere, but oh no, it was a bike bell. Bit annoying with all the noise, but anyway, let's get over here. Might be a bit quieter. Much better once you get through the little tunnel there, away from the noise. There's a football school over there, Riga Football School. Presumably the highly talented of Latvia's youngsters go to ultimately represent their national team. I would think. It's kind of a funny little boardwalk affair here by the lake. Nice lake. In one of my other videos, I visit Meza Parks, which is the big park here on the edge of Riga. Beautiful place, absolutely wonderful place to have a walk around, no matter what the time of year is. Last time I went there, it was the very end of winter, beginning of spring. There was still snow piled up from where they'd cleared all the paths and so on. But of course the big piles of snow don't necessarily melt as quickly as the stuff lying on the actual pathways. So yeah, it's quite nice, and there was still some ice on the lake. The river, the water there, is it lake or river? I can't remember now. But there's a lagoon. Yeah, so That's a very, very worthwhile place to get to, and easy to get to by tram or bus as well. Well, this is a nice park. It's not on the same level, of course, as Meza Parks, but still nice if you're in this part of the city. We'll go and head over that way towards the massive big wheel, which I don't suppose will be operational today. I don't like those though. I don't like going on those. They always make me feel a bit dizzy. Maybe it's just my age, because I'm sure I used to like going on things like that when I was younger, but not really anymore. Looks like it's shut down actually. I can't see any of the little cabins or whatever you would go into on them. Seem to have all been taken off, probably for refurbishment. So yeah, that's not going to be operational anytime soon. Yeah, so I'm sure you get some fine views of Riga from up there. I can see some guys working on it. It's all cordoned off as you'd expect. The pods, I think that's probably the term they use, are not on it. Hey, a tram. Wonderful. Whether it's being disassembled completely and got rid of, who knows? Or it's just been refurbed. But yeah, check it out if you come to Riga. Maybe it'll be back up and running again. Found a tram stop there, so I'm going to decide where I'm going to go to now, and I'm going to go to it on a tram. How's that? Just missed one though. Okay, so according to Google Maps, the trams operate on this line every 7 minutes, and I missed one about 2 minutes ago, so that's not too bad. I'm going to just head down to the tram stop. That was a tram crossing back there, by the way, not a tram stop. Tram stop's just here, and I'm just going to head over to it, and I'm going to go to the Holy Trinity Church, which, according to the photograph at least, looks absolutely splendid building. So I'll be putting some photos of that on very shortly. There we go, got on one of the more modern trams. I prefer the rattly old-fashioned ones, I have to say. I do like walking around sort of suburbs of cities. You've got your tourist bubble in the centre of them all, but when you get out to the suburbs, it's just real people going about their business, and much more interesting, I tend to find. So I've got to find out where this church is. I got the impression I'll be able to see it from when I got off the tram, but I'll just have to refer back to Google Maps. And rather incredibly, and usually this doesn't happen, I did set off in the right direction, so it should be just up here on the right hand side around this corner. In fact, I can see it now through the trees now, past the big buildings on my right. Looks a fine, splendid looking structure, I have to say. There's some cooking going on around here. I don't know what that is, but it smells very, very nice. There we have it. Very vibrant colours, kind of just off pink, green and blue, with a touch of gold right at the top. So I'm going to carry on walking now. Go to the, I think it's pronounced Vansu Bridge viewpoint, and take a little look from there as I head back slowly into the centre of Riga, where I'll conclude this walk and transport jaunt today. So just crossing over this small bridge first of all, which takes you onto Riga Island, and the other side of which over there, which will require walking across a much longer bridge when I finally come to it, is the Daugava River, the main river that runs through here. And I think what I'm going to do is walk back into Old Riga via this route and just see what I see along the way. Zuns, I think this said it was called on the map. I might have got that wrong, whatever that means. It's just sort of a little tributary kind of thing round the other side of this land here to make it turn into an island. Whether it's man-made or natural, who knows? But we're now on an island. So here's the big bridge that takes you over the river. It can be seen from all sorts of different angles around the city. It's quite impressive in a sort of a brutal kind of way. Swedbank, Swedish bank, maybe.
Walk south, turn left.
The voice command on Google Maps keeps switching itself back on. I'm not really sure quite why, because I never have that on, but the last couple of days, every opportunity it's had, it seems to want to speak to me. So I'm going to have to go and have another look at that now, work out why it's doing it. So there we have Old Riga, or the old town, just over there. Quite a nice view of the bridge. Daugava River. The other bridge that I'd have come across earlier on the bus, heading out to the market. And there's the big wheel all the way over there. So Google Maps is telling me now that it will take 30 minutes by public transport to get to the centre of Old Riga, or 29 minutes if I walk. So that's a no-brainer really, as the weather is still okay. Just going to take a little wander around down here for a bit. I've not been over this part of the city before, just to see what's occurring over here. And I'll take a slow stroll back over the bridge. This is probably the nearest thing that Riga itself has got to a beach. Right next to sort of seating area over there with what looks to be possibly barbecue equipment, and children's play area. I'm not going to go filming that. And yeah, but if the weather's nice and you don't mind dipping your feet into what is relatively cold waters, particularly if you've ever dipped your feet in the sea in Spain or somewhere like that, the Baltic Sea is a bit chilly sometimes, but there are some absolutely wonderful beaches very close to here, easily got to by public transport. Salkrasti being one, Jurmala, many more. Long stretches of sandy beach, and even if it is a bit on the cool side for getting in the water, walking by the sea and by the beach is certainly a great prospect. And very, considering how close you are to the capital city, it does suddenly feel like you're right away from it all, particularly at Salkrasti. Okay, alright, I'm going to presume I can walk on either side of this bridge. Looks like you can, so I'm going to head over and take a slow walk back into the old town. Right, so that says swimming place if you translate it. And rather strangely, on the other side, it's not a swimming place. I can only assume that they mean on the other side of the bridge, just by the bit where I was walking over by the viewing point. You're not to go in the water there, because I can't see anywhere here you would like me to go swimming. But yeah, so it is okay to go in the water here if you're slightly bonkers. Or hardy. Very hardy people in this part of the world. So it's kind of back in old Riga now. I feel like I should know the name of this park off the top of my head, but I don't for some reason. It's just slipped my memory, but it's a nice little park all the same. Something caught my attention on the Google Maps just as I was following the route that I've set it. It said lighthouse. Well, there is an actual lighthouse there, but it must be, I don't know why you would have one here for real purposes, but there's one here anyway. Autumn, when the leaves are still kind of fresh still, before they've turned to mulch. It's a beautiful time of year, and this park is just the same. Flying over Latvia and this part of the world, it's just a sea of yellow from above, and it was a fine sight. I did take some pictures from the plane window, but as always they never come out that great really, unless you've got some kind of contraption to stick your camera onto the window and there's not any scratchy marks on there and stuff like that. So I won't be adding any of those in, but believe you me, it was a fine view. There's Monica there. Is that a hotel maybe? Looks like a castle. You can swear by those. Every city you go to, everywhere in the whole world, has the old red sightseeing bus. Usually way overpriced. May not be here, I couldn't really comment, but what I can tell you is public transport is very, very reasonable here, and it is in many cities if you take time just to look it up, do your homework. And obviously you're not going to get a commentary in 20 different languages as you go around on a public bus, but armed with things like Google Maps and so on, and just general doing a bit of homework, you can usually figure out where it is you're going to go and what you can see. And places like Riga in particular are also extremely walkable. Funnily enough, this is a part of the city I don't think I've really walked around too much before. I'm just taking a bit of a spiral back to where my bag is being stored, and I've ended up coming this way. Fine building just here. I shall discover what it is in a moment. Well, again, with my rudimentary understanding of Latvian, I would say that is the Riga School of Economics, or something similar to that. Some very fine buildings here, and I'm wondering why I've not walked around this part of the city before. Always good just to follow your nose sometimes and see what you come to. to start on a windy little walk back towards my accommodation, pick up my bag before I head back to the airport, so I'll just add in anything I see of interest along the way. Gosh, I do love just walking down random streets in cities all around the world. So, if you like this video, please click the like button. If you want to see some more stuff, I've got more stuff involving Latvia, Lithuania, other places in Europe, loads for the UK and further afield also. Click on subscribe, have a look at the channel, doesn't cost anything to do that. And another interesting building, the Ukrainian flag outside. Not sure if I'm allowed in here or not. Haven't really got time to hang around anyway, so probably better continue. Yeah, and there's the yellow bell which will notify you when new videos come out. So thanks for watching this just random little wander around Riga, really. If all street art was like that, the world would be a much better place, wouldn't it? So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Anything else I see between here and the end of my walk, I should just tag it on the end. But for now, cheers, see you again, bye bye. Numerous occasions on other videos, but there is the famous Lima clock. It's a meeting point, a bit like under the clock at where? I was trying to think. In Central Station, in the central area of Central Station, those sort of well-known places, or Waterloo Station in London. That's what I was trying to think of. If you meet someone you've never met before, going out on a date maybe or something, chances are they'll say, let's meet at the Lima clock. And I don't know that from experience because I've not met anybody there, but apparently that's what will happen. So back into the sort of old town area with all the usual collection of stuff. This can be a bit sketchy, probably not quite the right word, but it's got a late opening, maybe even a 24-hour-a-day McDonald's there. And a very late opening in Narvesen. You do tend to get quite a few people lurking about here late at night. For that burger and a beer on the way home.